many legal drugs to do.
You're the designated driver. Okay?
He pops the pills instead of drinks. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
that's
don't
all right.
know, but I think
I'll always remember what happened when we went out. And then I can tell you about it later.
Ooh, don't tell me a thing. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
I had a friend do that. She got wasted at a party.
Don't want to
And
know.
then I told her what she said afterwards, and she like wanted to crawl under a table.
Yep. Don't want to know.
That's all right. Blacked out 2 days.
Don't wanna
once.
I think
Are we ready?
Are we ready?
think
Let's do this
we're
thing.
on. I think we're on. What's confusing me is if you watched my earlier program, you saw that I have a chat window to the side
Okay.
Right.
so that I can see everything.
Yeah.
But it's the same chat window for my earlier chat, so it's totally confusing me. But Kathy and Jan are already there, and they're talking about whiskey, or drinks. So I guess
Well,
it's the right
why
chat window.
not? How come we're
If
seeing
not, I'll be doing some. I don't know. Interesting editing later. Anyway,
Okay.
I'm just.
Hi, Jen.
Hi, Jan.
Hey,
Don't mind
what are you
me.
guys doing?
Oh, guys, I have a question.
Yeah.
Did
Okay,
any
but just the one.
do any of you know Robin Williams's cunnilingus routine that he did?
No, but I know this one from Saturday Night Live. That one was great.
Okay,
No.
Robin Williams did this great routine on cunnilingus, and I only bring that up because of the opening scene in tonight's episode.
Oh,
And
okay.
Robin Williams did possibly the best portrayal of a man performing
Having fun with
cunnilingus.
women? You got it.
Got
Okay.
you.
You should go on YouTube, find it. Trust me, you will laugh so hard you'll pee yourself. Anyway,
All right, guys, this is your homework. We're
Okay.
gonna look up Robin Williams,
here's my
cunnilingus,
I
and I've
watched
probably
this.
just been demonetized. So thank you, Cynthia. I don't, it's okay.
Latin word. It's a Latin word. It's not dirty. Okay.
I'm watching it right now. You know
Oh,
what?
honey,
I put
we're
for
all
this whole-
married
this
or,
whole first-
or
this
experiencing one way
this
or
part-
another. It's dirty.
I put awesome opening. I want that kind of wake up call. That's what I put.
Yes. Don't you know?
Just
The other
saying.
thing is, why is his face totally dry?
Because it's television. And yes, it's exactly
Of
what
course
all of us
Cynthia would
are
come up
thinking,
with
too.
that.
It's like,
You're not
Only
Wait a
you,
minute.
girlfriend.
It's a logical question. It's logical. It's logical. Sorry.
it's not like Sam was really. Come on.
I always
Cynthia.
wonder how when they're doing that kind of stuff. I'm like, what's he thinking? I'm like, oh, shit.
Blood on them. They
Read the
put
script
dirt
and I was
on
like,
them.
God, I gotta do this again.
You know.
Welcome to our Outlander chat where perversion is the reason we're
It's
here.
going through the brain. Just wondering.
I hope
Yeah.
she doesn't have gas.
I know, right?
I would think that would
Like,
be going
ugh.
through most guys' brains, when they're.
The other thing is he got his hair cut. He did that
Yeah.
so that no women could grab his head.
People have ears.
Yeah.
You know, his hair is always so much nicer to grab.
That's hilarious. I just think that's a great wake up call. What
Yeah,
woman
it is
does
a
not want that
warning.
wake up call? I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
and at least Murtaugh had good sense to recognize he'd interrupted something.
Well,
Yeah,
see,
I
I'd have
do
been
like.
mad.
I do like that he's like, oh, hello, mistress. Okay, sorry.
I'm
The
like,
look on her
okay,
face. She's
we're
all
doing
I don't
our
have
flushed
a
thing.
and-
problem.
You
I
know,
don't have
she
a
kinda
problem if
rolls
my
over
husband
like,
lets somebody
look
in
at-
my room.
Yeah, I know.
Why
Like,
are you
kinda don't look.
going?
The whole look on her, you could just tell.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. He's like,
Oh.
oh, sorry. Kind of like,
No, I'm with Melissa on the end. Why did he open the door? What?
I know,
what
right?
was the
Hey, go out into the hallway. Don't come in here.
I know, right?
In
I'm
case
just
it's
saying.
not evident, we're talking about an Outlander episode
Yeah.
called "By the Pricking of My Thumbs." This was always I do enjoy the "By the Pricking of My Thumbs." Yes, I do enjoy
Nothing
some
would
of the
Get
names
that
here.
title. Do I get the
Nothing
title? I don't
really
get the
this
title.
comes from the Bible.
What?
Huh?
I'm not here to explain
My
titles.
I don't get that one.
I don't get it. But
I
It's-
don't either. It's very true. I don't. I feel like there's probably a Bible reference in there,
think
and
so?
I'm just not getting it because it's been a day or two since I
I
was
don't understand
in Bible
that.
school.
Okay.
If anybody knows that, comments over here. Fantastic. Let us know.
I just think that
Educate
the
us.
whole scene is fantastic. And it's funny because I think there was something online where they showed the script of this
Yeah.
actual scene. I don't know if you guys
Okay.
saw that. Have you guys seen it?
I have not.
And
No.
they showed and I love looking at scripts because I think it's kind of cool. And they actually word for word they're doing exactly what's on the script, and they explain, okay, Murda, they have morning sex or whatever, how they say it. I can't. They do that, and they describe exactly what they're supposed to do script for script.
Well,
I'm like, yeah, can you just imagine them opening a script going, oh, great. Can you imagine the read through?
No.
I'd like to bet on the wall for this read through.
Well, here's my question: if they have to do the read through, is Katrina is over there going,
I know, right?
And they're making the wee squeaky noises, or what? I'm curious.
She didn't do squeaky noises.
I would love to been in this read through. Just saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great read through. And what is Sam doing through this read through? Yes, Sam.
Maybe they give him like an ice cream cone or
Oh my
something.
God! I need to ask that question.
No, wait.
That's the next question.
I got it. Ice cream sandwich, and he has to eat the ice cream without taking it apart. I feel like.
Question. How does the read through go when you're having a sex scene? I want to know. I just want to know.
Well, Jackie, now we know the next question we have to ask. All right.
Yeah.
Everybody go into the gathering. That's the next one we know for sure. People are, no wait, and then of course there's the Scotland Land Con, and we know somebody going there. So anybody gets a chance, ask Sam. What's it like to have a read through for a sex scene?
For a sex scene. And all you're doing is moaning, and that's it. I mean,
did somebody's off to the side making smacking sounds or something? You know, I don't know.
Want to know?
Maybe it's just narrated that part. Okay, Jamie's going to do this, this, and this.
Yes,
Claire's
exactly.
going to do this, this, and this.
There's my hand here, there, and there. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep, want to know? Read through. I want to be on that read through. Totally. It'd be great.
I like scripts too, Jackie. I like scripts too.
Anyway, did you know in the show other things happen?
Murda walks in the door as he's doing right now.
Well, no, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
A lot of stuff.
7
I got like
pages.
3 pages.
7.
Wow, I only have 3.
Well, we got. I'm just gonna lead us forward past the bedroom scene.
15 minutes in the show, something
Well,
happens.
the best part of this scene is the bedroom scene. I mean, come on. The best part of this whole episode is the bedroom scene.
All right, everybody who wants us to just talk about the episode scene for the next 50 minutes, let me know. If you would like to know all the other stuff that happens, please comment
Duke
here.
of Sandrium.
Right.
Love it. I love that whole, when he talks about the Duke of Sandrium. Oh, you mean his like from other men? I mean, I started laughing. He goes, well, I'm not going to offer up my hindquarters. I started rolling.
Okay, we do have some answers about the pricking of my thumbs. It's from Macbeth by the pricking of my thumbs. Something wicked this way comes. Thank you, Jane S., because it's one of those things that you know it's in there, but you don't know what the heck how it got in there. So,
or is that the reference for the Duke of Sandrium? The Wicked? I mean, I guess I still don't get it.
No,
from
it's about witches. It's about witches. Something wicked this way comes.
It's about it's a chat. It's a chant with the witches, and we have witches coming up here, and that's why that's So that's the reference. We also have Sandringham coming to town, who we love. Sandringham, he's such a helpful fellow.
Oh my God, he's just so much.
I do love his character. I am so sorry. He is so out there. It's ridiculous.
F-O-P, Fop.
Yes. Fop. Yes.
He's a Fop. And that actor, I forget, we're talking about McTavish. He was in a movie with McTavish where he and the female, anyway, it's one of those Graham McTavish movies that he's done so many of. Okay. Where these other actors come in, and I remembered him distinctly from this, and I don't know if it was The Princess Bride or something else that he was in, but it was one of those. It was probably.
Was he in The Princess Bride?
Oh no, it's the one. What's the guy with the white hair? The Witcher. The Witcher.
Oh, okay, all right, yes, okay.
The Witcher.
Well, you don't know what?
The Witcher. Superman. The Witcher.
Love The Witcher. Oh my God.
Yeah,
that is so good. It's ridiculous.
That's another fella that's just entirely too handsome for reality. It's just not
an actor. I don't like it as much, but anyway.
So Sandringham's coming to town. Let's pretend we're going to talk about this, ladies. Come on. Sandringham's coming to town, and Ned's got a plan. We're going to write a letter that's a scathing letter about Jack Black. Sandringham will present him to the higher-ups, and the letter will be fortified, and he'll be...
Jamie will be free.
Jack will be in
petition of
trouble. Jamie will be free. Yes. Everything is going to go great. We have a plan.
yeah.
Perfect.
And as Murtaugh says, can't they just hang the bastard?
Hang the dude. Hang the bastard. I know, right?
I mean,
Let's just cut to the chase. Hang the
Oh,
bastard.
really?
but then the show would only be a season long, so you know.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
But we
Oh,
have,
God.
and then we have, of course, more Leary coming back after we have our plan. Leary is
My
Yeah.
I
least
like
favorite.
that Claire does confront her with
Yep.
the ill wish.
That's where I'm.
Mhm.
That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
And she should have slapped her twice. She
Oh.
apologized. She should have slapped her twice.
My whole thing is first she slaps her and then she apologizes. Why? Why you apologize after that? The
Slapped her
woman
again.
tried to kill you. Why would
Well,
you
because
apologize? I don't
She's not a
understand that.
violent outburst person unless it's to defend herself, and so I think
Yeah.
I think her reaction surprised herself.
Yes.
Yes,
You know.
it did. She was surprised. Yes.
Because now she's getting possessive over Jamie.
Well, wouldn't you? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Totally.
can't read my handwriting here.
I
Oh.
think she's surprised at that, too. That she's,
That she's feeling this much
yeah.
for Jamie.
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
That she's finally getting into yeah, I suppose.
No,
She's like-
Leary's still delusional. But anyway.
Totally. Well, she says he's mine. And he goes, she was never yours. But I think that's interesting how Claire always kind of works it around that she's young, and I understand that you would put your
Yeah.
blame on me because you think
Yeah.
I stole him, even though he wasn't yours. I mean, she kind of tries to explain that. You're not going to
Right.
explain that to a lovesick 15-year-old.
No.
They're not going to listen to you, no matter what you say.
No.
It's not going to happen.
And that's what she was. She was 15 at that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, she's just a youngin'. She doesn't.
She's a
Everything
baby.
you feel at that age is huge. It's everything. So
Right.
It is.
Very huge.
Yeah.
And she thinks Jamie doesn't love Claire. I mean, that's the impression you get from her, that
Yes.
she
Yes.
doesn't think he
That's
loves
stupid.
her, that he's just in it because he had to.
right.
Has she seen Jamie around
Well,
Claire?
but he doesn't show her anything otherwise either, though.
Right. He doesn't say
No.
anything otherwise.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's a lot of people that faulted that whole thing in the book about the fact that he could have set her straight. I think we've
Right,
talked
and
about
he
this
doesn't.
earlier. He
No,
could
he
have
doesn't.
set her straight. And he kissed her in that one scene and he totally blew it because that's
Yeah.
what cemented it in her mind, after the
totally.
whole thing.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah. Leary's
We
my
get the
least.
jealousy part. I mean, I get it. Totally.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh,
Mhm.
hell yeah.
So she just thinks that he did it because he had to, not because he loves her.
Right.
And so that's why she's kind of that whole really ugly toward Claire. Well, he doesn't love you anyways. I mean, kind of, at least that's what she thinks, right?
Well,
Right.
she
Yeah.
finds out in the distant future.
Yes, she does. In the-
Well, that
yeah,
doesn't help
7
her any
seasons
now.
Later,
Now,
7 seasons later, she finds out.
we're coming up to not my favorite scene in the whole Outlander series. You know what that is?
No.
Gayla's having a dance.
Yes, thank you. I thought that was one of the wooden scenes in the whole series. She did not carry that off well.
Hmm.
I don't. I
I
didn't.
guess I never thought about it.
I always
they
thought it was
just-
just sad and kind of lonely that she was by herself because
No,
every
it's
other interpretation of communing with the rocks has many people. And there
Yeah.
she is by herself. And so I think that gave us a moment of she has got to be fairly lonely. No wonder she was happy to see Claire and have someone who she could talk to because her
Mhm.
life is a big old secret.
Right.
Mhm.
You know, even
I-
Dougal doesn't know she's from the future and has a plan. So
Right. But she,
I just thought the scene was not. I mean, juxtaposed against the women at the rocks. That beautiful scene that was iconic. Talk about iconic.
Right.
right,
again.
yes,
That scene is the whole Outlander opening, and that is graceful and beautiful and mystical. And Geillis against that they should not
Yes.
even have shown the other women.
yeah,
They
but you
shouldn't
gotta understand the reason why she was doing it too. It wasn't supposed to be a lovely dance. She was putting an ill wish on somebody. That
right.
was
Yeah.
the whole point of her
Was she-
dance. That's not going to
Yeah.
be a beautiful dance.
And before they're basically doing a
It's not-
blessing of a
it's
sort.
not. She's
I'm
trying to
just
make someone die or go away so her and Dougal
It's
can
not
be
going to be
together.
beautiful.
That's the purpose of her
talking
dance.
execution of the dance is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about critically speaking, the execution of that scene. I did not feel that she flowed into that well
Yeah.
compared to all the other actors in all of the other scenes in all of the other episodes.
Yeah.
And she it just didn't come off for me. It didn't work. And I actually skip ahead usually when I watch this for the 207th time.
I know, 920 times, right?
Cynthia, we got somebody here. Jada says, I thought when I saw Geillis' pointy hat reminiscent of a witch hat.
Oh yeah, the hood she wore, yeah.
The jacket, yeah.
Well,
because that's where I'm at right now is the dance.
Oh, and then
they go back and forth between her and the druids going around, and because that's what Claire is thinking about when she's watching her of the druids and the dance.
And there's really no comparison. There's obviously choreography and beauty involved with and it's a blessing. And again, like Cynthia says, this is a curse. This is for someone to die and to get out of her way. It's different. It's gonna be more raw, I think, as far as like how she
I actually think the truth of the matter is Geillis is actually a modern woman, as we find out later on, and that, you know, even Claire is challenging her, even though Claire doesn't know this at this point in time. She's challenging her on, do you actually believe this stuff, as she does with Jamie later. It's just how can you be intelligent and believe this, you know?
And intelligent and believe this. You don't believe in whatever she says, fairies and stuff like that, right? You don't believe this, do you?
Changelings,
Well, and remember the way that Geillis thinks she got back in time involved ritual and
you know,
she was more concerned with the ancient way to do it,
the way to do it,
modern way,
which is interesting considering she's a modern woman. I wonder why she didn't think of it in a modern way. That's kind, that's kind of weird to me, isn't it?
Again, I think it's because
she was all wrapped up in folklore and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, Melissa, you're right. She was totally caught up in that whole mystique thing.
Oh yeah.
And you know, and just thinking that she was part of what destiny, as far as bringing around the true king of Scotland.
Proper king. Interesting.
Plus, she carries on like a witch in some ways. So.
She does very much so.
I think she believes
in all her potions. Totally. Oh yeah.
Claire knows she's not a witch. Geillis thinks she's a witch.
I think she does.
Yeah.
Well, I think in all the ways that people were concerned about witches, is she secretive? Is she devious? Is she using her knowledge to harm people? She is whatever anybody was concerned a witch would be. I'm probably word that properly, but you know what I mean. Yeah. She resembles everything everybody was afraid was true.
Right. Considering how many people she's killed, she qualifies.
You guys know where the word
she's busy.
And where the word witch comes from? You know where the word witch comes from?
Not particularly.
Wicca, W-I-C-C-E.
Wicca.
Okay.
Yeah, Wicca, I know.
Wise is all it means.
Oh, lovely. That's fantastic. I'm cool with that.
I like the modern definition. Woman, a woman totally in control of herself.
There you go.
My sister is Wiccan. She has the altar and the whole deal. She's very cool.
Wow.
Cool. I was in a coven for a little teeny minute, but they weren't a very cool coven. So.
They invited me, but that doesn't align with my beliefs. So. Yeah.
Oh, the baby on the mountain.
Yeah, that's just so sad.
That is so bizarre. Yeah.
It's
no. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I like the way that Jamie explains it. That this belief gives people hope. Who would, let's face it, otherwise wouldn't have it if they have a sickly child. It's not like there's modern medicine to diagnose, treat, assist. Surgeries are not available for, things that affect Claire's family later on, and they have to travel back in time and get proper. There is no travel back into the future and get proper medical assistance.
Nope.
So I like the way he explains it. This is a way that the parents can believe that their children are living on and happy.
With the fairies.
Yeah, with the fairies.
Well, and he also explains that most of these people have never been a day away from their house.
Right.
And that's so they don't know the world.
Has taught them.
That's the line that he uses later in another episode when he's talking about, or they're talking about his sister.
Yeah.
Jenny. Right. Same thing. Yeah. He's never been an awful lot. Right. And the only thing they've ever heard is what Father Bane feeds them. And they're not crazy. We all know that.
He's a lovely
person. Know that they're not, he's crazy.
He's a peach. I enjoy him.
If that's the only thing that they believe, Lord have mercy on them. Sorry.
You know, he provides a well-rounded education, and I appreciate that.
My Father Bane of my existence.
The bane of my existence.
Thank you. Yes.
And everybody else's.
Perfect.
Yeah, especially if you're a woman.
Oh my gosh.
You can like one.
Yeah, he is in just evil. He's an evil person.
The the poor baby, and they did a beautiful job with that poor little dead baby. I mean, their special effects department was amazing throughout the whole series.
Yeah.
They're incredible.
Yeah.
We know that.
Everything was perfect about that moment. The misty scene, the
Right.
kind of secluded woods. It was a moment to be alone and to grieve, and they really provided that environment.
The horses' hooves coming in. Whenever I watch it over again, I wait for the horses' hooves, the sound of them coming in as Jamie comes in to get
Right.
her, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, here he comes.
Here we go.
And she says, "Take me home."
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we
one
go
of
back.
those signs
I
that
hear
we see that she has settled in. It's home.
Yeah.
You know, she's
Yeah.
yeah. He provides family and safety and solace, and
Mhm.
yeah, it's kind of sweet that we could get that moment too.
They do go to go back to when those two are walking, go back to the Sandrium, and she remembers Frank talking about him, so they do a flashback.
Yeah.
Yes.
Frank and what's the
Reverend.
Reverend
Yeah.
talking about that. So
That
she kind of
makes-
goes, "Oh yeah, I remember that conversation about the Duke of Sandria."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not just that he might be
Murtaugh.
supporting somebody, or it might have been the support system for Jack Black,
Yeah,
but that
right.
he may be a Jacobite as well.
Jacobite
So he
as
might
well.
be
Correct.
have a little secret life going on there.
Yep. You're playing both sides, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Murtaugh is it's not setting right with Murtaugh. He's a little suspicious. Why did you know this? You know?
Yeah. Why do you know this? You're
But
right.
Murtaugh's like that. Yeah, he's like that.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's fair. She didn't make a deal with Murta. She made a deal with Jamie. So you know, and
Jamie
Jamie's
makes sure
very
that went with
honorable.
Murta
About it.
too.
Yeah. Well, and I also like that Murta is concerned for Jamie because the Duke of Sandrium's a little too friendly with him. You know.
Friendly. Little
So-
too friendly.
He's a big boy now, and Duke is little
Yeah.
guy.
I just like
Yeah.
how when they have, well, she goes, which I think is very interesting, how she goes very forward and goes and meets with him before Jamie
Yeah.
gets there.
Yes.
Yeah, very
Because, you know,
protective of her, yes.
I'm like, oh, and he kind of wonders, like, why are you here first? I want
Yeah.
your husband doesn't come, and she's like, because I want to see you first.
But the truth of the matter is that's not how that was done back then.
No, not at all. I'm sure he's like,
No.
"Look here."
There's
You're
a
a
couple
woman.
of times, other than the time when she's meeting with Sandrium, where in the back of my head, at least for watching the television series, I'm like, how is Jamie letting her travel alone this late in the evening? Or why? Because I
Where
would
is
think
he?
that she'd be having to travel with a man. I understand that because she's a healer, that affords her a little bit more freedom than your average woman. But this is a lot of times where she's all by herself traveling
Yes,
around, and
Traveling around.
I'm questioning
we do know
things.
you know that she is a little hard-headed. And
No.
And yeah, and even if he said no, she probably would have left anyways. We all know that.
All right, that's
This girl doesn't
possible.
listen.
But that argument would have been fun.
I'm
They
not
should
know
have
but your
included-
husband. I mean, that's what he always tells her. But no, but your husband don't listen to me anyways. So
That's exactly right. At least he's learning. Okay, that's a
figured that out already. He's like, don't even bother. She ain't gonna listen to me anyhow.
At least he's trying though, and
He's
we missed
trying.
the trying part. We also, because we also meet. This is the right guy, right? When they're meeting Sandrium, and we meet. No, this isn't the other Randall. Oh, this is beforehand. But we do see that Sandrium is trying to quote himself, which is obnoxious enough.
I know,
I mean,
right?
honestly.
Write
Right
it down.
down.
Write that down. I like that. Write that down.
Yes, he's doing the little book.
he's
What
just
I
a-
love, I love at the end where she's kind of threatening him, and he says, "Has anyone ever told you you have a most gorgeous neck?
Right.
It holds your head so prettily.
Yep.
I'd hate to see them parted."
Parted.
I love
The
that.
parted, yeah.
He
I love
does
it.
have a
She
nice
looks
turn
at
of
him.
phrase, so you know.
She just looks at him like, yeah, go ahead, try.
Yeah, the same
They
can be
can let you hear me.
said. His head
And
can be
it's so
parted.
funny
Yeah.
considering his future that's the line that he chose.
I know, right?
Yes.
Talk
Yes.
about foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing, right? Oh, that
Karma's
is awesome.
Karma's
Fantastic. It's fantastic.
Oh, he's so funny.
Okay, then she goes back to the castle and has to deal with Dougal on a rampage.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh.
here's the other thing. I mean, according to Geillis, those two really aren't together. She's off somewhere. I don't know if she's sick.
She's been
Or
living at the
never
estate.
around.
She lives and tends at the estate.
His
Because
wife- his
Dougal
wife
has
lives-
an
Yeah,
estate.
she
of
never
his own.
leaves it.
Never leaves
No.
it.
Yeah,
No.
never leaves it.
He's lived there the whole
It
time.
was an arranged marriage, and they're not in love. It's just
Right.
not attractive. They do have children together, which they don't really
Yes.
bring up in the series. But
Yeah,
in the
they really
books,
don't bring up in the series.
Yeah, they have 4 daughters.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't say
Yeah.
anything about that in the series. Yeah.
No, except for the time where Jamie explains what happened when Dougal saw him staring at one of his daughters, and then he.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tib.
Yeah,
Tibby.
there was a vice grip
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah, that's
That's much later on.
Yeah, that's
But-
what, 4 seasons
But
later.
yeah. But it does get talked about. Is all I'm saying. Is that they do.
Graham McTavish did a great job of acting the drunk in that scene. I thought he did.
He did amazing.
The way he threw himself around and did that whole thing, he did this. It's like, oh, you've been there before, okay.
Did a good job. Yeah. I love, who was it? It was Angus. He does a cross and he kind of does this thing with his hand.
Yes. I love that.
I love that. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but it made me laugh out loud. He's doing this and he kind of goes like that.
Angus is such a good. I love Angus.
Too many answers. Too many.
I love
pieces.
Angus.
I think it's trying to throw the devil behind you.
I mean, I was just wondering what that meant. I just thought
It
that
means
was cool.
throw the devil
Throwing
behind
it
you.
behind him.
Well, so the devil's in front of him in the form of Dougal, and he's losing his
Yeah.
That
damn.
was hilarious.
Well, you
He's-
know
he's
what
out-
though? I like this scene because we don't feel like he cares about his wife. We know he's married, but we don't. But this actually, I
Yeah.
mean, he must have had some sort of real affection for her, even if it isn't love, like we would traditionally think of it. Because he reacts so intensely.
He feels
Well,
guilty.
They're
Yeah.
all men of honor.
I think
They're all
he
men
feels
of
guilty.
Yeah.
They're all men of honor, and
Yeah.
they all have certain things they have to uphold in their families and their civil structures or whatever. And he didn't do right for her, and he knows it. You know,
And he knows it.
Yeah.
He
They
feels
all
guilty.
treated her like dirt, and then it's like that's the way it always is. After somebody dies, then you feel guilty.
Because you didn't do what you
Yeah.
were supposed to, and he didn't.
Yeah.
And he knows it.
That is. So yeah, I guess I didn't really feel that we see him actually experience any passion on screen. We
Mm-mm.
know he wants to. He supports the Jacobites, and we know he is canoodling with Geillis. But to see real passion in him, we don't see very often, with the exception of when he tries to defend his actions to Colum about gathering the money.
Right.
Right.
We do not see this side of him.
Right.
Guilty? No. I figure that he doesn't feel guilt because he has a justification for every action that he
He's
has.
trying to do right. I agree.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, I thought this was a good insight on both Duncan and on Geillis, this episode.
But it's also a good insight on Colum, because Colum doesn't really have much empathy for his brother's pain. And
True.
Colum is very cold about it. If anything, I thought, it's like, get this idiot out of here kind of a thing. It's like, wait a minute, what about your wife? Because he obviously has some concern for her, but nevertheless, it's just, I think we see a foreshadowing of Colum's coldness towards marital relationships in general, especially in his immediate family. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and for all intents and purposes, he might not understand the connection that happens
right.
due to marital congress, because as far as we're aware, he has not had that experience.
Yeah.
not
We don't know that.
I
Yeah.
don't-
So, but yeah. Anyway, moving right along, they sedate poor Graham. They sedate poor Dougal, and I think I said Duncan earlier, so my apologies. But they sedate poor Dougal, get him off the floor. He's got some. Yeah, let's have some respect for the poor man.
Don't let him lay there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we cut to some more Geillis and Claire having kind of an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
Really.
Mhm.
And we observe and hear some honesty from Geillis too during hearing some I won't say revelations, but revealing possibly the next part of her plan now that the wife is gone.
No, the wife is gone. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that little kind of.
That look on her face. I mean,
Mhm.
Like,
that was her look. That was the one little look that she had through the whole series whenever she was on. It's like, oh, okay, yeah.
Mhm.
Does anybody watch it with subtitles?
No,
Because it
I
actually
don't.
says on the subtitles, little or little
Oh, yeah.
snort when she makes her.
A little smug look on her face, like,
Uh huh. That doesn't do
Well,
you
she
any good
thinks,
if your
she
husband's
thinks
so
her ill
light.
wish or whatever thing that she did worked, right?
Yeah.
She did a summoning, a
Well,
summoning.
Because the woman dies.
I mean,
Yeah,
it did. Yeah.
So
Summoned the goddess.
do we
Magic
even
is
know?
real.
I mean, did they say what she said that she had a fever, right?
Yes.
And she passed away. I wonder
Yeah,
if
it burned
Geillis
her
did
like
something to
fire.
her. Do you think
Fire.
Geillis did something to her?
Oh no,
I
she's
mean-
too far away.
No,
Yeah.
Gail thinks she did something to her, but she didn't. Yeah. It just,
Yeah. I think
was-
she wished really hard and then a coincidence happened.
That a coincidence.
Yeah.
Really think a coincidence happened. Quinky didn't come.
You know
Okay.
what I was telling you guys earlier before we started about my driving problem or
Yeah.
possibilities?
Mhm.
I am not kidding you. When I walked out of the DMV after taking that test, there was a purple Jeep out front, and the guy is selling it. He says it's going on sale in 2 weeks, and I said,
how much?
but I don't have the money. No, more than I have for.
We could do
but-
a GoFund.
But I
GoFund.
feel
Go fund me.
sure. That's
People,
not gonna happen. I
implement you.
appreciate it, Cynthia, but it's more than I could raise. But I was like, it's a sign that I'm on the right path, that I'm making good decisions.
There
You
you
know?
go.
Yeah, it's $11,000. I'm not gonna ask any of you all to try to pitch in for that. No. I'll work on it. I'll work. It's all right. Anyway, sorry guys, sidetrack. So we're back at Sandringham, and he has a little problem.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love it. You know what? Out of all the things he could have asked Jamie to help him with, this was probably the easiest darn thing. It just happens to be with the wrong family.
Right.
Yeah, because normally Jamie would say, "Fight, yeah, I'm in."
Oh yeah, no problem. This is good. And he actually, in theory, he kind of does. He's like, all I have to do is stand there. Okay.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And so he's asked Sandringham to send the letter that Ned Gowan wrote up that says that
Yep.
Captain Jack is a naughty guy
That
and
guy.
should be drummed out of the services, and Jamie should be free because all of these charges are hyped up.
Mhm.
And
Bogus
and
charge.
in theory, Sandringham agrees
Yes.
Right.
with the little quid pro quo, and all Jamie has to do is be a second for a duel. He really doesn't have to participate much.
Right.
Oh,
I love how
so
he
it's-
says it to him. He kind of goes, "All my other people, something about how they look and not."
he picked
They're
them for their.
ugly and they're
They
good
picked them
looking, but they're not that.
Yes, he picked them for
Yes,
their.
They're not belligerent.
Belligerent or good looking enough, and he goes, "You have enough of both," and he kind of
Both.
touches his face. I'm like, "Oh no!"
it's the touching
He
of
kinda
the
touches his
face.
face when he says that. You're like, "Oh, gross." Yeah, he just kind of looks at him like, "Okay." Like,
Oh,
wow.
I feel
Is it
bad
any
for
more
his wife if
blatant?
he had one.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's just not good. So,
Ew.
but, and I do like how. Did anybody watch Hamilton yet? I like how the duel was done where you shoot away. You
Yes.
don't actually shoot
No,
at
you
your.
don't each other. No.
Yeah.
Right.
It's all
Yeah.
about honor and making a show of things, just
Of
like
things,
everything else
correct,
in this
which is
time. It's about the
ridiculous.
show.
Right. Even
Um,
in sword fighting, even in sword fighting duels, it's the first blood that's drawn ends the duel.
Right. It's not a to the death situation.
Right.
No, not usually. Not
But-
usually.
I like what what Murtaugh says about when the McDonald's are involved, blood may be spilt.
Yeah.
My mother's a McDonald.
My mother's a child. Yeah.
And that's
Oh.
appropriate.
Oh, okay. Insight for Melissa. Thank you, Melissa. We appreciate
Yeah,
that.
that's hilarious.
Were they
Listen,
ever in a feud with people on the other mountain? I want to know this because that's what we always hear is that people they were in a feud with the people on
Yeah.
the other side of the forest or on the other mountain.
Right.
Anyway, sorry, bad joke. We'll pretend I didn't say that, and then I'm always intelligent and funny. So,
Too true.
but we get through the duel. It all works out. Again,
It's a
in
great-
theory, Sandringham now will do his thing. After
I
we all
just
have a
love
nice
how
big meal.
and Jamie's hurt and he leaves him on the ground and runs off.
And runs
Yeah.
off, right? It's like, okay, a duel is one thing, but all out brawl is something else, and then he
Yeah.
leaves.
He takes the paper out of his pouch at least. So
Yeah.
Kinda
Yeah,
leaves.
he's such a sad
That
excuse
was
for a
great.
man.
That was
I don't even.
it's a great battle though.
It was.
I like
Notice how
that.
he destroyed all three of those kids by himself, right?
Yeah,
Jamie
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he gets hit. He gets stabbed first. He's
all
hurt
by
first.
himself. No
Yeah,
help.
all Yep. Great warrior, Jamie. Yes.
There you go. Great warrior,
Yep.
Jamie.
Are we surprised?
No, no.
The next scene I think is hilarious. I love it when he's getting sewn up by
So,
Claire,
yeah.
and she's
Yeah.
quiet as nothing. It doesn't say a word. And
I love that line.
in the
Yeah.
actual filming of that, she actually does sew up Sam. He's like, "Oh, that's me. Thank
She actually
you."
hit him.
Wait a minute,
Yeah.
back up. So they had to do it again and take another two because she actually pricked him.
No, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that. That was hilarious.
That was pretty good. But I
That's
just love
great.
the line he says, you're not usually a closed mouth woman, Claire. I just think that's hilarious.
What was it? Anger.
Silent
quiet
anger can be
anger
very effective.
Works very effective.
quiet anger is effective, yes.
Great.
Yeah, that was my mother.
I love that. Silent anger is very effective.
Yeah.
You'd be
But-
surprised what could be accomplished by not saying a darn thing and just
Darn
doing
thing.
your work.
Absolutely. Because that's usually when it's lethal, is when they don't say nothing.
The one thing I
Watch
noticed,
out.
one thing I noticed in this whole episode is how young Jamie still seems.
Yeah,
He's
he
still
does seem young.
Very young, very kind of not immature, but still very hopeful because he's so very hopeful about this whole Sandringham thing. He's just his heart is just like lifted up by I could get back to
Well, I agree that he is actually still immature. I'm going to agree with you on that, just because he still makes decisions on the fly without a lot of forethought.
Yeah.
but I think it's incredible the way as the character develops over time. Sam Heughan also shows the progression of the age of that man. I realize a lot of it's makeup and direction and all that kind of stuff, but he does an excellent job because he's still got this youthful look, and he's 32 years old in this one, right?
Yeah, at
At
least
this
that,
point,
He looks like he's 18.
yeah, he does. He looks
Yeah, he
very. They
does.
both look very young, and they're both the same age. They're both. I think Katrina looks a little older than him.
Well, she does. She's
Well,
like a
she
year.
is a little. I mean, the character anyway is
The
supposed to be a
character is
little
older.
older. So
In real life, they're both the same age. So
She's like 6 months older than he is.
yeah, they're just a few months older. They're about the same age.
And irritatingly, women start looking older
Don't we?
earlier than men. It's
Mhm.
irritating, but it's true.
Men
Unless you
get
meet my
They
husband,
wish
in
women
which
get
case,
old.
They have to
Yeah.
be pretty for us to still love them.
Yeah. And he just always he does. He looks very young in this show too.
Yes.
At 30, he looks young.
Comes across very youthful and innocent.
Very young. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Mhm.
So
Yeah.
we really want to compliment the makeup artist. It has nothing to do with Sam being healthy, working out, keeping fit, probably
Probably-
drinking 90 glasses of water a day.
Good
Yeah,
actor.
90 glasses of whiskey. Who are you talking about?
He has to drink
They
water
were
at some
partying
point.
the whole season. We talked about how much partying they did this whole season. The first season, they were constantly drinking all the time, coming in to work half drunk.
Because
They
it was
ain't
so
drinking
sad
water.
It's over. Yeah, just
Oh, you get a bunch of
whiskey
Celts
and
together.
water. Have you not heard of
Whiskey and water. There you go.
Celts like their grain. We like our grain.
Like a drink, totally. There she goes.
So sorry. Okay.
Not me. Not me.
Not you.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, you know what? I kind of basically just. What did I do? Did I cut off the end of this episode on purpose?
What did you do?
What?
Did I do that? I don't know.
And then we come to the part where her husband dies. They're in
Oh, yes.
part.
Yeah.
Arthur.
Hall with the whole thing with Sandrium, and I love how Claire walks up to him and calls him a bastard. You bastard! She just doesn't even care. I just think this whole scene is hilarious.
Yeah.
I do. I just love her. She could care less who it is.
Yeah.
Hilarious. But then I love that whole look when her husband dies, right? And
then
she
they-
looks at Dougal, right? And that look on his
And then,
face
of course,
kind of grins.
And Column sees the whole thing.
And Column
it's like,
sees the whole thing and notices that. Yes.
Is totally up. And then she screams late. It's like, oh, wait, I'm supposed to scream.
I'm supposed to scream.
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to be sad.
Yeah.
My husband's dead.
I forgot. I'm supposed to scream.
Ah.
I know. Exactly.
We
So
all
fake.
believe it. No, we didn't believe it.
Yeah, we didn't believe no one believes
Ladies,
that.
when you're going to kill your husband, make sure your scream is on cue or
right.
you're gonna get caught, man. Let me tell you.
You start crying.
Exactly, on cue.
Mhm.
I just thought that was interesting how Dougal kind of has a grin. She just kind of looked at him and then decides to scream and call him, watches that whole scene.
Watching the
Like,
whole
ooh, he knows, and he looks angry.
Oh yeah.
That was great editing and camera work to cut to each character at just
Yep.
the right time to
Right
show
time.
the interaction, slow it down
Yep.
at certain points, and then get it right back up going. Really, really well done. Really well
Yep.
done in this
We
episode.
love
Love
this
that.
show so much is because the directing, the cameramen, the set designers, the
Yeah.
whole 9 yards, they're just all exceptionally good. They're just
They are
the best.
very exceptionally good.
Yeah.
The best.
The collab, that's what I want to hear. I know you want to hear what the read through on the sex scene is, but I want to hear the collaboration for specific scenes, like how they come with it, up with the ideas to make it run so smoothly, get the right angles, and also get the proper camera work to really help tell the story. Because this is one of those moments where it's just a few seconds,
Right.
but
Yeah.
man, it's pivotal and it's perfect.
Perfect.
And we've watched the behind the scenes enough to know that they are right on top of them, you know, like,
Yeah.
like,
They are.
like
They're like
Yeah.
right next to him here. I mean, it's just amazing that they can keep their focus on how they're supposed to be acting when these cameras and all these people are like right here. I just find that
couldn't do it.
fascinating.
I couldn't do it.
No,
I don't think I can do that.
I was in plays in high school and shit, but I mean, we never had cameras like here.
Like right into your face. I mean, it's just, yeah, I know, right? Stage is
Look
totally
at this
different.
camera and tell it how deeply you love it and want it.
Camera on my
Can't do it.
vagina.
That's not where that goes.
I'm sorry.
Where that goes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's not where that goes. There's no, there better not be any cameras near my hoo-hoo. Any hoo-hoo.
As my niece calls it, my majaja. My majaja.
Vajayjay was an Oprah thing. I had a friend who called hers a cookie.
Baby, my little baby 5-year-old niece.
Hilarious.
Yeah. I met somebody who was like, we call it our no parts. Our no parts.
Yeah.
Because
we
if
don't
anybody touches it, you say no.
But when you grow up, you call it your yes.
This is true.
You just make wee squeaky noises.
Making squeaky noises. There you go.
I said kiss her.
Not swallow her.
Yeah, that was funny too.
I love that. I mean, that kiss is awesome, though. Let's talk. Those two have great kisses.
They do.
They really do. I mean, those two just know how to do it on screen. I'm like,
better than most, that's for sure.
They do have some serious, and I love the kiss. That's great. Yeah, I
well, you know what though? See, people looking good kissing doesn't necessarily mean it feels good kissing, because people, when they feel good kissing, doesn't always look really good. So
that's the other question we need to ask Katrina.
Is Sam a good kisser?
Kisser.
I think she said he was. She did say he was in one interview.
Did she? Okay.
Sure she
Could you imagine her saying he wasn't? I mean, even if he wasn't,
I doubt she'd say no. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, even if he was the worst kisser, had the terrible breath, sloppy tongue, I don't know what else. Be like, he's fantastic. It was quite enjoyable. Yes, of course. You'd be
I've
like,
noticed that when he goes to kiss her, he licks his lips first.
Yes, he does. Yes.
But that came later. That came later in a different season, because in the beginning he wasn't doing that. Did you all notice that, or is that just me?
No, you're right.
You two could be a nasty over in the corner. Shame on you all.
I am so sorry. I'm really not that sorry.
Two children over here.
I tell you.
A lot.
Hey,
tongue a lot to express himself. His tongue is sticking out half the time, and that's all there is to it. He's always got his tongue.
I mean, I'm just wondering when that started, because it wasn't in the beginning of the seasons. That was like third. I'd say about the third season when you started seeing him do that.
Yeah, I'm sure it's one of those things that, like, the character builds. There are little changes that happen through the seasons, through the years, and they become more comfortable and make the character their own. It might just be something.
The thing is that he does that in other shows, though, too. He did that in The Couple Next Door.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's him.
I've seen it. That's him.
Well, we've heard him talk about the 5 things that people that every actor has 5 things that make, and one of his 5 things is his and so maybe the licking is one that he changed. Sorry, Cynthia. But you know what I mean? Maybe that's one of his new 5 things, his signature moves
His
or whatever.
signature, eh?
Yeah, I don't know.
Lopsided smile, which he claims was written into the book, but anyway.
Sure. Yeah.
My husband does that. The lopsided smile, and he licks his lips before he kisses me.
Maybe he read the books, so.
No, maybe it's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed thing.
There we go.
There you go.
We'll figure it out. We're going to figure
And
this
he's
out.
left-handed.
Truth of the matter is, most of us lick our lips before we kiss somebody. Let's think about it. Just think about it.
I don't.
I don't think I do.
He's going to, I do.
I don't.
I'm such an expert. I don't think about what I'm doing. I just go.
See, that's it. I don't think about what I'm doing. I'm just going in there. That's
right.
Oh,
Got things to do. Pucker up, baby.
I don't know.
All right, so Colum is sending poor Jamie away. Poor Jamie away. Nobody's happy about it, but they're it's got to be done. And then of course go ahead.
He makes sure that his mind's where it's supposed to be. Your wife is staying here.
That's right. And not only that, but Jamie once again gives Claire some advice that he believes that she will take because he's her husband, and says,
"But your husband,
don't leave Geillis alone for a while." So
she
immediately goes to Geillis.
He tells her twice, and he says, "Be careful."
Be careful. Yeah.
She's not.
And
he even explains
later, she's
why.
Yep. Nope, I ain't nothing but your husband. I like the way he says that. Yeah.
He even explains why, because Colum's upset. Things could go down. We don't want you in the line of fire, without saying those words. But he explains it to her. Okay, cool.
But does this incredibly intelligent woman listen? No.
Not at all. Shoot. He hasn't even been gone a half a day and she's already in trouble.
To be honest, if I got a letter from a friend who said, "Katie, come quick, signed your friend for you," I would probably be like, "I need to get here. They need help." I would probably do the same damn thing. Even if my husband says, "Whatever you do, don't go visit your friend."
Yeah, but the truth of the matter is, Geillis is not really her friend, even though she, let's face it, they're not friends.
But by Claire's point of view, she's the closest thing to a friend she has in this time and place.
Well, being a stranger in a strange land,
yeah. So, I mean, I can understand why she did it, and also how things went horribly wrong because they get there, and like almost immediately someone's pounding on the door, coming to get Geillis, the evil witch, and wouldn't you know it, he'd also like Katrina or Claire.
You got 2 witches here. That's awesome.
He was like really excited about it. Oh, good, you save us a trip.
I know, right?
2 for the price of 1, and then she throws it in the fireplace.
Worried about gas prices? What? Got the so she gets. So we got our heroine in prison. Yeah. We got our hero off trying to keep his uncle under control.
Out of trouble, right?
Yeah. What will happen next? We don't know.
I like it though. They push him into the cage, and what does she see? She sees Leary around the corner, so she knows exactly what happened. That's the end of that scene. Is that she walks out and Leary kind of looks around the corner and she sees her.
Yeah.
And that proves Leary's character and her to the point, because she knows if a woman is convicted as a witch, she dies. So she knows she's going to die. And that's why I don't like Leary.
Well, now we know.
She's an old-hearted little witch.
But now we get it. Up until then, we felt sorry for her because we kind of knew, he kind of let her on. But see, now this shows who she is.
Yeah.
That very scene.
And she never gets past it.
Right.
I
never felt sorry for her up until now. Yeah.
She was a twit.
The only other time I feel sorry for Leary for the rest of the story is when we hear about one of her marriages.
Yeah, well, and that's later.
But that's because nobody deserves that.
We'll get to that eventually.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So, 6 seasons later again?
She's made her bed. She's gonna have to lie in it, and if it weren't for some of these poor decisions, she wouldn't have to wait so long for happiness.
Right.
And so That was our fun episode. Wow, we did pretty well. We have
We
a
did
couple
good.
of seconds left.
We actually talked about the episode a little bit.
I know, right?
We did. We got past that opening scene, which was really the challenge.
Yeah, that's the best part, y'all. Come on now.
You know, the thing about Outlander that kind of drew me in originally was like, oh my God, this show actually shows sex the way it really is. And it's like, I had not really been exposed to that until I saw Outlander. And I guess it happened on other shows, but I did not see it on other shows. I saw it on this show, and it was like, oh my God.
Well, I think about this is it's all about not always the men, because that's what all the other shows really talk about. The men's pleasure. Where this one they focus on the women. And I think that's where it's different. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Good point, Jackie. Good point.
That's every show you ever seen. It's always about the women always pinned as the men. This way, it's the other way around, and I think that's what I like about the show. That women actually like it too, right?
That's why so many women enjoy
aren't
it.
ashamed of it, and I think that's what I love about Claire. She ain't ashamed of it. She just teaches her men what they want, what she wants.
In all honesty, I think women have higher libidos than men do. I do.
Yeah, in some areas, I suppose they do.
In my experience, that is absolutely true.
In mine too. I agree.
There's a reason for that. It's called procreation.
Me too. I have that experience too. Yeah.
All right, ladies, we have less than 60 seconds left. So again, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Melissa.
Blade Runner, Fifth Element. Blade Runner, Fifth Element. I had a bunch of them.
Okay, but you have to send them to me in a list because you're telling after I've had almost an entire wine cooler, it's not a good time to tell me to remember.
A wine cooler. Oh my goodness, a wine cooler.
I am a lightweight. I am absolutely a lightweight. I'm not ashamed to
She said
admit
a wine cooler.
I absolutely am a lightweight. If I have more than 3 drinks, I need to leave the room and not come back. No.
I like cheap dates. I like cheap dates.
I am a cheap. Well, Cynthia, you and I will go out sometime, dear.
Well, when you get your car, I'm going to get a license. My niece.
We're going to get cut off.
See you guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much. I knew it was going to happen. It was coming. I'm so sorry. We get to talking and I completely forget that I'm supposed to be paying attention to what I'm doing. All right, guys. So here's my plan because there have been some mix-ups in this last week about who was appearing on what and who was joining which chat. I am going to tomorrow, I believe, work up a working list of everything that I have so far on movies and TV shows that we're going to be talking about, including what order it will happen. It will not have all the dates because there are some weekends that I'm going to have to leave you guys free to do your own thing, which will set me behind on a Monday chat. But we will have a list so you'll know what you're going to be on and what I still, and which chats I still would like to have somebody else join me because of my limit is 3 folks beside myself, a total of 4 talking at once. Otherwise, we all jumble on top of each other and it gets really ridiculous and bad. So that's all I had to say about that. Lovely background. Don't you enjoy it? It's a blue swoosh. Thanks so much for joining us all. Thanks to Cynthia, to Melissa, and to Jackie. This was a fun chat. We did get past the first scene. I'm kind of proud of us for that. If you enjoyed this chat, please give it a like. And don't forget to check us out each Monday. See, this is why I should not have a wine cooler when I do these. Check us out each Monday night at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We are going to talk about every episode in order. This was episode 10. Next week, we will be talking about episode 11. That's it. That's all I got. If you didn't get enough Outlander fun, you'll have to check out below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not already. And comment below if you have fun things to add to what we chatted about. Thanks so much to all of my commenters on this site. It's very exciting to be able to look up and try to catch things. I need a bigger screen so I can see it a little bit better. Other than that, we are doing well. And that is all I have. That is all I have. All right, guys. I will most likely be live as planned tomorrow. Today's live was impromptu to check sound. And, yeah, that's it. I'm going to keep saying and hoping I didn't forget anything. But I did. Members, thanks so much for your continued support. I appreciate that so much. Everybody who comes and watches these videos, whether it's the reviews or the updates, thank you for your time. Thanks for your comments. And, yeah, just go forth and enjoy the rest of your evening.